Getting a couple clips here, starting with the key steps. Like I said, I'm going to start with good stance, both decent stances here, good weight, hands kind of on the kneecaps there. Base is maybe a little wide from my linebacker here on the left, right? He might be a little wide with it. And then their other linebacker on the right looks decent. So like I said, I can do all different types of these different key steps with different forms. See here, I still make the offense move on my foot just to get these guys and stop listening to those cadence, right? Stop listening to those claps of those offenses to try to prevent us from wasting a false step off of it. So kind of working a square and just working those first, 1-2 steps of it. So keying the guards, keying the tip of the pad of the guards. When they move, I move, right? So I'm just trying to mirror them. If they go left, I go left. They go right, I go right. They go back, I go back, right? If they go forward, I go forward. So just working those base fundamental movements from that start position is stance and then working that key step. So good little pitch by both of them. And I'll work different stuff too. And we play out of the box some. So you got to put an apex defender out here sometimes. I'll put an apex defender so they can key that end man line of scrimmage and work some of those that we do in a SAM technique. So I can combo those, add 2 guys out on the perimeter if needed. Here, just working pull. I don't like 7-step here. Like he takes a left step, he should be taking a right step. I don't like that. But I like the backside guy is working that push to move, right? So just working your first step. My guard goes with the pull. I'm just working lateral as my first step. Okay. All the emphasis again is the first step of this. It's not the 3rd, 4th, 5th step of it. It's can I get my body moving in the right direction to maintain the leverage to my gaps that I need from there. Back to that key steps, just working those first steps, those first movements off of that. Again, full flow here, same thing. See the backer on the left, he feels the full flow, works the crossover, but hips and shoulders stay square, right? Looking at this linebacker right here, hips and shoulders square, but again, stays back under controls, right? So I always want to keep that weight. I want to keep that center of gravity. Okay, I want to keep that center of gravity over the middle of me. And you'll hear me a lot of times in our transitions, a lot of times in our movements, and I use it for them. They get the visual pieces, that Madden circle, right? You play Madden, play NCAA, you got that circle that's underneath of your body, right? That's what they can give that visual piece. Okay, I want to keep my weight, I want to keep my footwork, I want to keep my body in that Madden circle at all times, right? Because that's going to allow you to be able to change directions. But as soon as you overstep, right, your right foot gets out too wide, or you start leaning, right, as you're trying to change direction, your weight gets outside of that middle pole there, out of Madden circle. It's going to be harder for you to change direction. So just try to give them that kind of that visual piece, like, hey, this circle is where you guys got to stay at in your movements and your agilities. Same version of it now, just added offensive lineman, and I kind of off the game plan for the week or what's the emphasis for the week. I can put more guys. Sometimes we get the G scheme, so I can go double G scheme. Sometimes we play Kansas State. They pulled the center a lot. Okay, so they pulled him a lot. So want to be able to open up our vision a little bit. Sometimes be specific to what we're getting with the game plan. But I can add 5-0 linemen. I add tight ends, whatever it is. But as soon as we get to Indy, man, I'm going to knock out 2 or 3 reps of these off of that. So again, just working the pulls. Then linebacker here on the right, he communicates the pull. I'm going to communicate on all that type of stuff. It forces him to talk more. And then the left backer looks like he should step down, and then he's worked and just tied off that first outside down block. And that's kind of our base rule for our pullers is first thing we see, that first outside down block, can be tight as you can to that. Same thing, and then working, I can change up the reads off of that. So working pass there to the left, and then working guard pull to the right. So it forces them to focus on their specific guy and what he gives you, your keys, instead of having big vision and seeing all 5 offensive linemen. So just force them to visualize that, what they're trying to look to. So, and then you see on the left here, I try to utilize as much as I can, try to come those drills. Like I said, just moving into a shuffle, right? That's a push to move. And little things as they go around these bags, and it's a frustrating thing. Is they always want to pick up that inside foot and step over that bag, right? So you got to force them to get all the way outside of the bag, because they're not going to get that full push and get the other foot back in the ground and change directions as quickly as possible. So, as you do that, I want to emphasize, hey, get all the way back around this. See, he takes that right foot, almost goes around it all the way, right? You want to push all the way out, and then right there, focus on that. You see the linebacker here. You see him step right there with that left foot, push, right? Push to move to change the directions, right? And that's the key to it all. Like I said, this is right here. This is old film right here. But kind of just talking about the Madden circle, just quick shuffles, just something early, trying to get the feet firing. Okay, I don't like right there this step. Looking at this linebacker, see that foot, man? He's wide. He's way outside of that Madden circle that he has. Because the first thing he's going to have to do now is bring that left foot back underneath of him to be able to get back and shuffle with his movement there. So, like I said, I build is, hey, I want to work my lateral movements. Hey, what lateral moves do I want to work? Do I want to work just on lines? Do I want to work in bags? I want to work in whatever it is. You have your whole list of drills, but if you start with those fundamental pieces of, okay, this is what I'm trying to accomplish in this drill, right, and be specific, and then you can pick and choose exactly how it is. So it just creates a grouping, creates an understanding of what you're trying to get done each day. I used to not be as much bags. I've kind of developed more bags as I've gone on. I think it's more visual piece for these guys to pick up and put down. So this one, I kind of do this early, just over the top bags, kind of traditional like everybody does, but it's focusing on that. Okay, stop my weight, right? This is one transition I mentioned earlier, but how do I stop my weight, keep my left foot in the ground, and be able to push my body back the direction right now, right? I think that's one piece of it where what guys want to do is they want to hit that left foot. And like I said, they want to hit that left foot and they lean, right? And all their body gets outside of the bags, right? So then it's hard to change directions. So this right here is just that focus on push to move, stopping your weights, transitioning your weights to be able to change directions. And then just working a finish right here, just working a tackle finish, right? Inside arm, inside leg, tackle. So just different things, like I said, just working these different lateral movements of it. Boom, push, stop your weight. See how everything stays balanced, head stays level, shoulders stay level. That's what a lot of things you look at too, is the head bouncing up, bouncing down, right? That means their body's changing levels, which is wasting movement. So you want to keep the head balanced. You want to keep your eyes balanced, right? Keep your eyes stable on what you're looking at, and then be able to stop your weights and go the other direction from there and be able to tackle that ring. All right, next thing now, combining the shuffle to towards the line of scrimmage. All right, and this is just working around garbage, working whatever it is, but be able to keep my feet back underneath me and be able to push and move as needed. Okay, so pushing off that left foot, right? Push to move, clear the bags. Again, they're going to cheat the drill. They're going to try to take that inside foot and step over the bag. Okay, now working that near foot, right? A little far there probably with that right leg. Okay, but I want to close down. All I'm trying to do is close space, right, to the line of scrimmage, but I want to keep my base back underneath me, right, and then be able to push. Okay, push. Like, again, all this is, like I said, my agility, the goal is to keep my body under control, right? Keep it under control, each one of these. So I want to be able to push. I got to stop my weight now. Can I stop my weight? Not waste that movement, get back, push in the other direction. Now I get back under control. I can work different things, work a press, work a near foot, work a different finish, work a ball, whatever it is outside of these drills. But these are the, base fundamental ones that I want to work as we work through, right? Same thing, right? Push, close, near foot. So I work, like I said, the base fundamentals. When I start out, I teach the near foot. Like, I'm going to start them on a line and just near foot, right? Near foot the other way, near foot. So trying to keep that inside foot up, right? And trying to keep my outside arm and leg free. I'm trying to maintain leverage to my gap, right? With that near foot technique. Shuffle, push, accelerate. All right. So just adding those combinations. Same drill. Now just under the chutes. Right? So just trying to keep the pad level down, keep the eyes focus on what they need to focus on. Now there's just a 90-degree transition. Like I said, just different ways to keep coaching kind of that same thing. So say working here now, just adding the ball carrier. But again, the focus point is push to move, shuffle, working the crossover, right? Might turn into a scrape technique, which is multiple crossovers. I kind of teach it like crossover once, back to a shuffle. Hey, ball carrier still moving with the full flow. I want to keep working that crossover, but being able to maintain my hips and shoulders square to the line of scrimmage off of that.